Good evening, guys. Welcome back to D-Rizzle TV. I am, as always, Dan, and welcome to episode number 4. Well, what a start to non-league football we've had. 5 games in, and we've already seen the likes of Wrexham, Chorley, Billericay top in their retrospective leagues. Chorley, I don't think I've actually conceded a goal yet, so kudos, guys. You're doing really, really well. So also, York City got rid of Martin Gray. I heard that it was to do with the contract. They said he wasn't going to have his contract extended. He then left, which to me is a bit odd. Start of the season, 5 games in. You've had the whole pre-season with the team. Some new guys are obviously going to come in, his own ideas. Is he going to want the players that are there? I'm not sure. I know they've backed him quite well with money, but yeah, it's interesting to see what he's going to do with that one. But as always, we'll all find out. So moving on to this week's episode. Simple, the rise of non-league football. So basically, as we all know, interest in non-league football is growing, and we absolutely love that. Now, looking at it, last season's figures I've got here, the National League had 49,182 people going to watch that each week. In the Northern League, you had an average of 24,993 people going to watch each week. And then we had 11,972 people on average going to watch the southern side of the league, which to me was a little bit of a shock. But I mean, next week I'm looking to try and delve into that, so stay tuned for that one. Now, I know what you're saying. I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, why won't this guy shut up? No, you're not. I hope not. You're thinking you could probably fit these figures all together into the new camp each week, week in, week out. I get that, but I honestly think that it's a positive thing. I think the interest is growing year on year. I think that anyway. So we're going to look tonight the reasons why I think that. I'm going to look at the reasons why what I think we could do to improve that. So let's get crack-a-lacking with it. Number 1, pretty simple: ticket prices. Allow me, with my mathematician skills, to give you a little insight into ticket prices and just what the difference is league on league. Now, the Premier League, on average, £32 a ticket, but do not be fooled by these prices, because a lot of these prices, on average, you're either in the heavens or you're stuck behind that famous pillar at Anfield where you can, you know what I mean? Can't see anything. I don't know what that was. Can't see a thing. So do not be fooled by that ticket price. Drop down to the National League and you're looking at an average ticket of £16, which, yeah, you will see some quite decent teams with that, in all fairness. The Hartlepool, Leyton Orient, Chesterfield. So £16, not that bad, is it? Now you're looking at the both North League and the South League, around £13 a ticket, which I think is really, really, really good. You know, and it's not the same football that you were looking at 10 years ago, kicking up and down the field. But I will get into that. I'm not jumping ahead of myself yet. Basically, what this says is that your money goes a lot further coming down the leagues to watch your local teams, your non-league teams. I mean, how many people can say they can walk out of a football game with change from 50 quid in the Premier League? You're not hardly going to get a ticket for 50 quid to start with, but you're going to get yourself a decent pie and chips and a couple of drinks for that, are you? Non-league 50 quid, you're walking out of a lot of change in my eyes. Unless you have a lot of pies, like I do. Number 2, relegation. Now, after the dust settles and obviously, you know, the tears have gone, you've been knocked out of the Football League. On average, you're going to be bringing a lot more fans with you down into the non-league. Now, I'm not saying that these numbers are the reason that are boosting them so far up, because a lot of times that they are. But what this does for other non-league teams is it brings a bigger away following with these bigger teams, because, as I said, once the dust settles and you really you get the anger out that you've been relegated, a couple of games winning, you're behind your team, you want to get out of the division, so you get a lot more people come with you. That's the way it goes. And looking at attendance records, a lot of these teams that come down, they're bringing 3,000-4,000 fans to a home game. I mean, that's a lot of fans. A lot of interest in non-league football. Number 3, the standard of football. Now, as I've said before, the standard of football is getting better year on year. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to show that footballers are turning into athletes. And I do believe it's filtering through the divisions. The standard is getting better, every division. I also think that the money that's being pumped into football nowadays is helping with that better standard of player that you're seeing at your local teams in non-league. You know, it's not awfully odd to see ex-Premiership footballers who weren't playing in the Premiership that long ago playing for your local teams now, because the money's there to bring these journeymen into the club. Also, like I've said again before, I'm a firm believer that pool of players is just expanding year on year. I mean, the amount of Premiership clubs that are releasing these rough diamonds, giving them the opportunity to drop down the division, start again, and really ply their trade and give it their all. So I do believe because of that, you're seeing the standard of youngster dropping down, really improving a lot of your teams. And of course, like I touched on last week, the rise in full-time football is helping the standard, because I'm not going to go into it too much. You had 12 minutes of me jabbering on about it last week, but full-time football means that these managers are getting more time with their players, which means the standard of play that they're playing is improving. So yeah, it's better for standards, isn't it? Number 4, knowing that your money is needed and valued. Now, one thing I think we absolutely adore about non-league football is knowing that the money that we're spending on the tickets, the money that we're spending on the merchandise, is helping our clubs to run, to survive. And I think knowing that really gives you a sense of belonging within your team, knowing that you are part of that team. You're needed, we all are. Whereas with a lot of these big clubs in the Premiership, your Uniteds, your Chelseas, you're just a number. And I firmly believe that, because if you don't go one week, you guarantee there's thousands and thousands of people that are ready to jump in just to get there. So like I said, knowing that the money that you're putting back into that club is helping with the everyday running of the club is a real plus for any non-league fan. Any non-league fan will tell you that. They absolutely love knowing that. 6, supporting your local team. Now, I do believe this is something we're seeing more and more year on year. And that's the younger generation seem to be coming out in their droves to come and follow the non-league teams, their local teams. Now, whereas most fans in the Premier League will tell you that it is becoming more of a tourist point, I think, for the bigger clubs now. You see, I've been there myself, and you've got people trying to do the chants, and they're... Yeah, so I think it's pushing a lot of the local fans out there thinking, well, why do we want to go? Why aren't we getting the tickets? And they are, you know, I think it puts a lot of people's noses out of joint. So yeah, I think that you're starting to see a lot more people drop into non-league and supporting their local teams. I mean, you're always going to get a ticket in a non-league game, which I think people love that. And love the fact that they're not being ushered out to bring in interest from people from all over. So, and as I said, going back, the kids showing an interest in non-league football is huge. The next generation of fan really needs to be there to help non-league football thrive, not just survive. Number 7, social media. Social media has 1 kajillion shabadabalabalulion helped with the rise of non-league football. I read an article last week that said that on average, the average person picks up this bad boy every 12 minutes to have a look at it. So social media is taking over the world. It has been for a long time, we all know that. So one thing it has done is it's for the world of non-league football is it's free advertising. You've got Facebook, you've got Twitter, Instagram, to name a few. Once those hashtags get started, you're sorted, really. And being able to connect with the fans so freely has just been an absolute godsend to every club out there. Friends tagging friends, saying where you are, the famous hashtag, it all counts, and more importantly, it generates interest. And then of course being able to create events, having everyone saying I'm interested, I'm not interested, helps. Also, the statuses being shared by people. It literally is such an easy way of connecting with the fans and having people know what's coming up next, when it's going to be happening. And let's not forget with that, clubs are now, when they can afford it, they're employing these social media managers to do just that for them. Now, a lot of people also turn to YouTube for the social media side of it. Things such as goals from other games, advice on grounds, which ground to visit. There's a lot of things, YouTubers, I watch so many of them with the non-league game, and they're so helpful with information. We're all in it together, aren't we? And we want to learn as much as we can about the places we're going. Also, a special mention to Away Day Pie Girl. If you're not following her on Twitter, you've got to. She goes to every away game with Telford United, and she samples every pie. I actually think she's on the pie tasting competition in England. I'm not sure, but yeah, she does an absolutely fantastic job. Follow her, it's worth it, she's brilliant. Number 8, the World Cup hangover, guys. Now, as history has shown, recent history, in 03 with the rugby boys, in 05 with the Ashes, and this year with our lads' valiant effort in Russia, a trend starts. You see fans of all ages just yearning for that sport to carry on. They want to get involved. They become fans of it more and more. That's why I say hangover, because the hangover of the World Cup has it's united the nation in the love of football all over again. It really has. And so you are seeing a lot of people wanting to go and watch the game a lot more. I mean, my partner, even she wants to go watch a bit of football now, so it's a good thing for all of us. And she wasn't the only one. So when the season started, you actually are looking at it now, and there are more people that are deciding to go see their local club for the first time. You know, you do thank the World Cup for that. I can't keep saying that. Thank you, World Cup. So having a look at the plus points like we just have, now let's delve into what I believe can help push non-league football just that bit further. The big clubs promoting, simple. So we have the infamous non-league day, which, you know, this has definitely helped promote our beloved non-league football, I do believe. It's something that's celebrated year on year, and I do believe as the years go on, it is getting more and more popular. And with this, you see a lot of the big clubs players who have actually played in non-league really help promote the non-league football day, which I do think is fantastic. A lot of them have dropped at some part in their careers and played the Vardys, the Pickfords. Joe Hart's done it, so them doing that is fantastic. It's a way of giving back to the league that a lot of them made their names in. However, I really would love to see the bigger clubs in those leagues help promote it just that little bit more. The endless coverage that they receive really could help push it a little bit further with their fans. And they have so many ways of doing it. Post-match interviews, press conferences. There is so many ways that these big clubs can just help with the grassroots side of football. And you know, for me, I don't know why these bigger clubs can't help promote the non-league football on the days that doesn't have to clash with the days that they're playing. You know, back in the day when Tranmere used to be on a Friday, you used to get all the fans from Liverpool and Everton going there and helping, you know, the turnstiles. It's fantastic to see. I just don't think that the bigger clubs help with their local sides enough nowadays. You know, offer incentives. I know Birmingham City do it with Solihull Moors. I know that Gateshead have got a little deal going on with Newcastle and Sunderland fans. You know, I think if you're a season ticket holder with either Newcastle or Sunderland, you get money off your tickets. So I just don't understand what's really stopping these bigger clubs help promote the teams that are around them. Another big one for me is promoting what's local to you. Now I know Shrewsbury Town have what's called Fan Zone before kick-off every Saturday, every home game, and it's fantastic. You know, you have live entertainment on there. They're pushing the local ales. It's a general feel of the togetherness of the town, and I think a lot of clubs are missing the boat in doing this. Now I know that a lot of these clubs can't really facilitate this every week, of course, but maybe 1 or 2 home games a month. Try and see if you can get this, you know, this full pre-match entertainment package going, where you are promoting the local businesses around you, the local breweries, the local butchers, you know, bringing in the food to sell on, be in it together. It's got to be a way forward. You know, maybe have local musicians playing before the game like they do at Shrewsbury Town. With this, you're not only just having the followers coming a bit earlier to maybe have a look at the entertainment, but these musicians or these acts that you have on, they have their own followers. Maybe they'll want to stay on and check out the game. It's all about trying to generate just a bit more interest. But of course, the main thing is you guys. You guys are so important to each and every one of your football teams. You're the guys that check in where you are. You share the statuses. You tag your friends in there. You take your pictures. Like me, you go on YouTube. Some of you do. And promote why you just love the sport. And in doing this, you generate your own interest. You really do. I know so many people now who go in their groups, you know, as an all-day thing to go and watch football, have a couple of beers afterwards. Because of this, more and more people are dropping from the higher leagues to bring in the thing that we love, which is non-league football. Everything that you do, everything that you guys do is great. You know, as I've touched on social media before, you really are the ones that post the updates, share the updates. You know, your club puts these messages on, you click that share button, it goes out, everyone on your friend list sees it. I'm not saying every time someone's going to go, oh, I wonder what they're up to, let's go there this week. But it does. It plants a seed for a lot of people. And so with this, all I can say is just keep on doing it. Keep on pushing your club. Keep on going there, buying the merchandise. Keep on telling all your friends how much fun it is to watch your team, as opposed to travelling all the way up to Newcastle to watch team lose and have to go way back. This is what non-league is all about. It is about the fans. You know, as I said in my first video, which was horrific, it is all about you guys. You guys are the most important thing when it comes to your clubs. They will tell you that. You mean the absolute world to them. And I salute each and every one of you because you are absolutely fantastic. So now I've got my Miss America moment out the way. I believe children are a future. I won't ever do that again, I promise. So thank you for stopping by this week and spending some time with me. It's been a pleasure as always, guys. As always, if there's anything that you want me to look at, anything you want me to discuss, below there is a comment section. I'm waiting for someone to do it. But put something in there. I will research it for you. I will do the video for you. If you're new, remember, Dan, DRizzle TV, hit the subscribe button. It is simple. Click, click. But other than that, I will see you next week. I have, as always, been Dan Robinson. Over and out, guys. Take care.